Oh yeah. I'm facing out. Yeah, hang on. I can only test with this arm. I'm doing mental gymnastics here. I'm doing mental gymnastics because I can only do it with one arm. Sorry, it's a refined skill.
Is it the same one as
So, and by the way, if anyone is interested, these are all the specific, I'll pass them around if you want. These are the specific EMR type remedies that I've collected from different pharmacies and so on. So you can just see what it is.
It'd be nice to have a list. These are your common ones.
Well, yeah, but I don't.
Oh, you don't use it?
I don't use them that much. Sometimes it might come up specifically, but you know, like you've got. But you can use those as a testing kit. If you don't, you can buy a testing kit. You see, I'm going to give you details of where you can get this from. But this is an electromagnetic test kit. So this is what a kinesiologist would use.
where do you get that from?
Life work potential. It'll be on your list.
Are they all going to be on a handout?
Is it on the
Yes. Go online and you'll find it. Work potential. Can't remember the rest of it. It's going to be in the notes.
Oh, okay. But you're going to be like,
I've just got to finish the resources page, but I've done the rest. So there you go. Just give me a couple of days. Right, okay. So I want you to put your arm down by your side, and what you're going to do is you're going to put your arm so it's against your hip, not the chair. So just make sure it's not banging against the chair. Okay, good. So what I do, I apply. I bet you've all seen. Have you ever dropped another one? Thank you. Yep. But you've all seen people do muscle testing like this, and the trouble with it is. Oh, is that right?
Just a little bit that way. No. That
Backwards.
Backwards. Yeah, because I
fine.
can't see the arm. Yes.
Okay.
You'll collapse the board if you're not careful.
Oh, that'd be good. Right. Okay.
Okay, I think that's yeah.
Right.
Because I can't
Okay,
see the
so
arm.
we've all seen people muscle test like this. The trouble with that is it's exhausting, and most people don't know how to receive it. They resist too much, and it takes judgment, it takes practice to be able to receive muscle testing like that. I find this people can cotton on within seconds. So I apply, so you imagine you've got Velcro between your arm and your hip, right? And you're just going to engage your arm, keep it against your hip, okay? Like that. Fine. Just touch more. That's fine, without using your shoulder, right? I'm applying a little bit of pressure, and now that muscle is engaged. This actually is this latissimus dorsi, the big muscle across the back here, which keeps your arm into your side like that. If I put my finger here, I interfere with the circuit, same amount of pressure, look, nothing there, yeah? Okay, take it away, and we've got a muscle that's on. Yep, here it's off. Okay, I could do that with one finger. That's the amount of pressure I use. And with practice, to start with, you have to use more pressure to get the difference. But right, so tell me, all right, so what you can do, you actually don't have to tell us what the symptom is. I just like you to think, right?
What would you like, acute or chronic? Like, do you want one that's now, or do you want one that...
Let's take a chronic, because wouldn't that be more valuable for you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
So I have stomach acid issues.
Stomach. Right, so can you be more specific?
When I was pregnant, I had awful heartburn.
Heartburn. Okay, right. Okay, so I just want you to think about that issue. Okay, you go weak, right? So what I do is I lock that in. Okay, we're going to switch that onto a strong muscle. And now I'm going to use finger modes, so structural, nutritional, emotional, electrical. Right? Electrical, and this is typical of what happens. Electrical is usually in the top layer, because with muscle testing, you're starting at the top, working back in, and it will tell you the most recent thing. Okay, so I've got something here. So I know it's in here. Right. I normally would have a table in front of me. So. Right, so I'm going to split this up. Okay, I'm just going to cheat a little bit, and I'm going to muscle test like this in order that speed the process up, and then I will. Okay. so we're on a strong muscle. I'm going to give this testing file to Deborah, putting it on her. If it's relevant to the issue we've got locked in, that we will get a change of indicator. The strong arm has gone weak, so we know that dirty electricity, that's harmonics going round the wiring system, probably where you're sleeping, right, is the first issue, right? So we've taken that out because I've got that testing file on you. So now I go, just engage that arm, that's it, that's fraction, that's better, right. Now relax that arm and touch that, that's it. You see, when you start using the shoulder, it's just a different muscle. Right, and we've got another electrical.
There's one on the floor.
Oh, thank you.
And every time you do that, am I thinking about my stomach?
No, I've got it locked in, so
Alright.
it's fine. I've got the issue in the system. That makes perfect sense. Right, let's put that one on you. Right, we're on a... Right, are you right? We're on strong, so if it's relevant to the situation, that will go weak. That's decked phones, that's these cordless phones. Okay, digital, enhanced, cordless, whatever. Okay, does that make sense? Do you work with the cordless phones, or I've got one at
my
home?
house is, I'm throwing it out.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay. Now think about your issue.
Okay.
Right. I'm going to say right. Okay. Take that off. All right. Now think about your issue. I think that's it. No. I think it's just those two issues. Just staying strong now. Okay. So it's electrical. So, all right, what we can do then, the way I would do that is, we need to, right, let's think how we could address the dirty electricity. The dirty electricity, so that you can, right, let's lock it. You think about your stomach, your heartburn, okay, we lock that in. Now I want you to think about getting rid of your cordless phone at home, okay? Now you're on strong, let's see. Right, we sort of that. Right, yeah, and so now we just have the dirty electricity. So you put that on you, right? So the highest priority for dealing with dirty electricity is for you to use crystals, to use a harmonizer in your home, is to use the green 8, to stop charging your phone overnight. Yeah. Stop you charging your phone overnight. That's what you do, isn't it?
Yeah, right by my head.
Dirty electricity.
Not anymore, but I did, yeah.
Dirty electricity caused by when you plug in. This is a transformer. All your cordless phones have got a transformer, right? Your mobile phone, when you charge it, it's a transformer. It takes the power and reduces it down so that you don't blow the item up.
Can I say something which everyone might find interesting? I have a set of pylons a third of a mile away, and I got hold of some professor or other that goes around the world talking on the subject, and I found his number and rang him up. And he said, actually, I wouldn't be too worried about that. What I'd be more worried about is all the transformers under your desk. Because there's one for the answer machine, one for the this, that and the other, and they're all under the desk where my pins are. He said, and I used to get problems with, it felt as though I had my fingers stuck in the socket of the electrical thing. Jittery, shaky, hot, all over the place. The minute I got rid of those and I put diodes on them, on each transformer, and put them on that side of the desk, I've been fine.
What's
I don't know.
diode?
Don't ask me. It comes from a company in America called Energy Pyloric or something. Pylorus or something. And they're little blocks of wood which they say have diodes in them, but they seemed, and that was absolute proof positive for me, that it's even been through the washing machine several times.
So where did you actually put them?
I put them on top of the
On top of the transformer?
The transformer, yeah, they're stuck on the blue tag.
Okay,
now.
I will find out some more information on that, because I've got somebody the chap who makes the block socks, I will ask him, because he knows all about dirty electricity. He sells dirty electricity filters actually
Oh,
that
right.
you can plug into
Yeah.
the system. Yeah. So I will ask him about diodes. Yeah.
And my son at the same time was just starting work in IT, used to have dreadful head and eye problems, And he ended up going to work with one of those in his pocket, which completely negated them for about 3 or 4 weeks, and then it started to come back. So he put 2 in his pocket, and they went completely after that. So now he wears a Q-link, which seems to do the same thing.
What's a
A
Q-link?
Q-link.
What's that?
Q-link.
Q-link.
Yeah.
It's supposed to balance you.
Yeah, it's just
Um,
it's another one of these
Yeah.
protective things. But again, I would
Wondering what you
I
said.
suggest that you have to. It doesn't work for everyone. With these
No.
things, you need to find.
It's not
What
enough.
works for
It's
you?
not enough for me.
No.
Not strong
It-
enough. No.
Well, it just isn't right for some people.
Yeah,
The
maybe.
way that they work does not doesn't actually enhance somebody's their particular energy field. So you know. Okay. Right. Yes.
Yes,
Sorted.
I think so. Don't charge my phone overnight. I'm supposed to be not anywhere near my head.
Quite right. Yeah. No. Charge it in the evening. Turn it. Try not to have chargers plugged in overnight.
Right.
Okay.
Well, anywhere. Anywhere.
No. Yeah, because it goes around the wiring system. Yeah. You plug one of those in. You see, it produces a magnetic field like this, and then it goes. It can get sent round the wiring system.
Even if it's in a different room.
Yeah.
We've got
Yeah.
6 phones at home
And they're all being charged overnight
and iPads.
in the evening. And sleep is when you want. That's when our cells cleanse and maintain themselves. That's when you're wanting, you know, everything to be washed out and all that.
So I have 2 little boys, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. If I charge it in the evening, they're asleep. So I should do it when they're awake, should I? If I'm talking about them kind of thing, themselves, do you see what I mean? Should I be charging?
Yeah, but you're not. You see, when you go to sleep, then everybody's getting it for at least 8 hours, aren't they?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Right?
No, but yeah. So, all right, so that's okay. Right.
So it's the
As long as I get 8
magnetic
hours clear, I
field
suppose,
is
I
much
want.
greater. Can you explain it again?
It creates harmonics. Harmonics that create dirty electricity that gets sent round the wiring system. Okay?
All around
Not
the house.
everybody.
All around
Not
the house.
everybody reacts to dirty electricity, but what you have to understand with all this stuff, it's cumulative. So somebody could be absolutely fine, they go and have an MRI scan, and then what you find is then they start showing symptoms to all sorts of,
Yeah.
you know, things that they didn't show before. You can take one exposure, it might be a chest x-ray, it might be having an ultrasound scan when you're pregnant, whatever, that just is the thing that tips you over, and then you start reacting to all this other stuff. So it's cumulative.
I had a body scan at the airport. Don't ask me why. Didn't think at the time, 4 o'clock in the morning, and my body went berserk. I ended up with a carcinoma on my there. My eyes, I now get clouds in my eyes, so I can't see to look through clouds. My heart has deteriorated enormously. My digestion deteriorated enormously, and I spent the last 2 years trying to pick up pieces. But that was a body scan, yeah.
Yeah.
And within 2 days of having it, I got a red hot spot on my breast. I just woke up one morning on holiday and there was a hot spot there. Couldn't think of it. It wasn't until I came home and I made the connection. Yeah, dreadful things.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the equivalent of 12 X-rays, isn't it?
You probably report it to them, did you?
I think they've banned them now.
Have they?
Yeah. I read a newspaper
What, in
article.
America? They've stopped doing that?
No, in airports, in the English airports. I think
Oh,
they've
English
stopped the
airports.
body
Oh, it's
scans,
English, because
yeah.
it's the trouble when you go to America.
Are you talking X-rays or scan?
They call it a body scan. You have to go into a little cubicle and they
And you
X-ray
scan
you
like
from
that.
so many
X-ray.
different
Okay.
directions.
Right. Let's have a look at time. Does anybody else want me to do another example of muscle testing? I was going to quickly. Let me tell you what else I was going to do. I was going to quickly run through some things about how to reduce your exposure. Mobile phone. I'm going to demonstrate some of these protection devices because I think that's very important. I mean, if you don't want me to talk about the mobile phone so much, because I am giving you notes on that. I mean, there's just 1 or 2 things I do want you to know because so many people.
Well, why don't we go through those things, and if
Yes.
there's time at the end,
Do another muscle test,
yeah.
Fine, thank you. Okay, so text rather than call. Try not to put this to your head, right? Speakerphone, that's why on all these programs on TV they always use it like this, don't they? They don't do it like this, but everyone in real life's doing this, aren't they? So, I mean, I'm electrosensitive, or certainly I was, and I'm not going to get myself back there, so I do not put it to my head unless it's an absolute emergency.
Do air tubes work? The
Yes.
bipolar one.
What? Yeah, I've got an air tube here. Yes, so all these people who, you know, they've got a wire going into their ears, all this stuff gets carried up metal, so it goes up a wire and it ends up in your ear, taking it directly into your head. So if you are going to do that, then I would recommend an air tube. Right, I'm going to send this to you in notes, and there's a discount code as well. You can order them online, and there's a discount code with those. So, because there are people having to use, they're expected as part of their jobs. This is the trouble, isn't it? This is the
Does that
problem.
same electrical thing apply to earphones for iPods? Sorry. So you've got earphones on your iPod. Do you get the same electricity?
Well, you must have an electrical field going up, yes. But you can get, I'm trying to remember what, there's a technical word for little things which can break the, be worth looking at the man who sells the block socks. It'd be worth looking on his website to see if he sells, things. I know there are things. Is it ferrules? No, that's what you stick on their bottom of the walking stick. No, but it might be the same word. There are things that you can break the line with, but I don't know if anyone's selling them. Okay. These obviously have gone like hotcakes, the block socks tonight. Okay, everyone's seen these? So basically, anybody, and I think this is so important, all those people, particularly men, who don't want to carry a man bag, I mean, I appreciate they have an issue here. How do you carry your phone without, you know, exposing? What you've got to understand, this is what most people don't understand, is this connects to the nearest base station every few minutes. When you're stationary, it might be every 20 to 30 minutes. Could be as long as that. When you travel, it's quicker because it's got to find where is the nearest phone mast. So if you're travelling at 80 miles an hour down the motorway, it will be connecting every couple of minutes, if probably, no, it might even be more frequently. Right, you're in a metal box. So a car, a train, a bus, they're all metal. And this is why I used to feel so bad travelling in the train. I'd have everybody there, even if I was in the quiet carriage, chances are everyone got their phone on silent. And I'd still be sitting there as though I got a head like this, right? What I did was, I got myself one of these. This is a personal passive device from garyjohnson.org.uk, and you'll be getting notes on this. I used to carry one of these. It gives off a subtle energy field, and I found this very helpful. So it enables my energy field to do what it wants to do without being so subjected to everybody else's phones. And he also does big ones from home. When I first got this was one of the first things I got after I was electrosensitive, and I turned it on, and within 20 minutes, I can still remember that sensation. I was standing there in the kitchen, I can still remember this, and it felt like I came back into my body. It felt like I grounded. It felt like I'd been floating about up there. And after I turned that on, it was like I came back. So a bit like that grounding exercise we did. So I know it works, and I tell you the other thing that tells you these things work. People start detoxing. Yeah, you know they are starting to undo the past effects when you do something and they start detoxing. Because when you start reducing current exposure, it allows the old exposure to come up. So you can expect either things like cold symptoms to come up. So I had a lady come to me with a small child, and I suggested on the phone before she came, they were having sleep problems, so I suggested turn the cordless phone off at night and this kind of thing. By the time they came to see me a week later, yes, they both had colds. Made perfect sense. Right? Good. Yeah, because we've got a detox. And what else was I going to say about that? Can't remember.
Excuse me, where would you put that in the house?
Yeah, you put it in the middle of the house.
Middle.
So, yeah, because it goes about 16 feet in all directions. So, and the great thing now is it doesn't need an electrical supply or anything. Yeah. This is wonderful. There's no battery in it. There's no on-off switch. You can take it in your hand baggage on an aeroplane. So when I go abroad, and I'm only, I'm going with Ryanair or whatever, and I've only got hand baggage, I can still take that with me. Fantastic if you're in a hotel room and you know there's going to be Wi-Fi and all this.
So how does it work if it's not a battery?
He's got a passive device. You can look on his website, but
What's it called?
Personal.
yeah.
Personal passive device.
Yes, it's light images, personal passive device. And with all of these things, I suggest it isn't about, everything's good for me. It's about finding what's right for you. Yeah, that's what my experience is. Some things are too much for people, and then you've got to introduce them gradually, because otherwise you're asking your body to do an awful lot of detoxing suddenly, and it probably hasn't got the capacity. And I try to help people without them making them feel really unwell. That really is. I really try to be gentle and do things slowly. Right. Have you seen people do this? Right. Okay. What are you doing there? What's the problem with that?
Oh, is that the most powerful time from the phone as you're making a phone call?
Yep.
Making a connection.
Until it connects, and it's this one the old phones, the really first phones. Anyone remember this? You couldn't tell at what point it connected. Right now you can tell when it's connected, can't you? You just think, oh right, now I can put it to my ear if I really have to. Otherwise, just hold it a couple of inches away. It makes a difference. There's a big difference. You only got to, I think it's something like 8 inches away from the body, and it reduces the effect by about fourfold or something. It falls off quite quickly. So, if I really have to, if I can't hear on speakerphone, I might do that just a couple of inches away. Okay. So, turn off at night. We've talked about that. Keep them away from babies, children, pets, elderly. Turn them off in the car. These poor children are being subjected all the time to everyone else's passive stuff.